Mend a broken heart and restore your pride with these 7 quotes. The night was heavy with silence, and Aisha sat alone in her room, staring at the faint reflection of herself in the window. Her heart felt shattered, as if someone had taken the very core of her being and broken it into pieces she couldn't put back together. Just a few months ago, she believed she had it all: love, laughter, and a future painted with hope. But betrayal has a way of burning through even the strongest walls, and now, she sat with nothing but questions and pain. Her pride felt stripped away, her trust betrayed, her heart wounded. She thought she would never recover. The world seemed to move on without her. Friends smiled, life went on, but inside, Aisha was stuck in the same place, a broken soul, wondering if she would ever stand tall again. It was during one of these nights, when she was scrolling endlessly through her phone, that she stumbled upon a collection of quotes. At first, they seemed like simple words, but as she read them carefully, each one struck a chord deep within her. They weren't just sentences, they were reminders, whispers from life itself, telling her she was stronger than her pain. The first quote she read was, "Sometimes, the person you want the most is the person you're best without." For hours, she stared at those words. Her mind replayed the memories of love and betrayal, but suddenly, she realized something. She had been holding on to someone who had already let her go, someone who didn't value the love she gave so freely. Why should she continue carrying someone in her heart who had dropped her so easily? It hurt, but this realization was her first step toward mending. The second quote was, "You are not defined by who hurt you, but by how you rise after the fall." That night, Aisha cried harder than she had in weeks. But this time, her tears weren't just of pain. They were of release. She understood now that her broken heart didn't mean her life was broken. It meant she had a chance to rebuild, stronger and wiser. She decided that tomorrow, she would not wake up as a victim, but as someone who had survived. Of course, healing wasn't easy. Every morning brought its own challenges. She struggled to get out of bed. She avoided places that reminded her of him. She silenced her phone, afraid of facing people's questions. But she held on to another quote she found: "Don't let your scars remind you of pain, let them remind you of strength." Slowly, she began to see her heartbreak not as the end of her story, but as the mark of someone who had lived, loved, and learned. Weeks passed, and with every step forward, life started to feel a little lighter. She began journaling her feelings, writing down the quotes that gave her courage. She pinned them to her wall, so every morning she could read them before facing the day. One of her favorites was, "Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth." It was this quote